fella's good for the moolah.
The Mountain Bike World Cup.
With the Volvo V70 cross-country all-wheel drive.
Hello and welcome to Eurosport with me, Mark Bicycle, for the third round of the Tissot Cross Country World Cup. We're in southern Belgium, in the Ardennes region at Houffalize, which along with Mont-Saint-Anne is probably one of the classics on the cross-country circuit. And this is the 10th time the World Cup has visited Houffalize, and I'm sure we're in for a couple of exciting races. Just having a look at the region here in the Ardennes, Miguel Martinez doing a little bit of pumping just before the race. Of course, this year, the men and women racing on Sunday. Women in the morning, men in the afternoon, reverting back to its old format. The change from last season, the season before that as well, when the women raced on the Saturday and the men on the Sunday. Houffalize, what a circuit we have here. 9.6 kilometres long. The two major climbs, Bois de Moine and Sam Rock. The first climb right out of the start. Awesome.
We will have a qualification race at 4 p.m. this afternoon, and there will be 131 riders entered for this race, and the first 74 riders crossing the line will be qualified for tomorrow.
As Christophe said, first 74 qualifying, and that man in your picture there, Meirhaeghe, he had to qualify but came third.
So now we start at the last uphill of the course, which is very steep. And I think if a group would still be together here, this is the place to attack, because it's only just over 1 kilometer to the finish. And the hill that we have here in the forest is really, really steep. It's also a very nice place during the race because there's a lot of spectators, and the crowd is going crazy here. So it is fun for the crowd and for us. So this is the last downhill just before the finish, and if we are still together here with the group, then it will be a sprint finish, that's for sure, because there's no points where we can get away anymore. It is a pretty steep downhill, but it's very short, and you will see that now we will cross a little bridge, and then after this bridge, here we go on the bridge, and after the bridge we just have flat to the finish, and the sprint will start here.
Perfect English there from Meirhaeghe, one of the favourites for the race in the men's race, but the women's race, the first rider, Alison Seidel, she's heading the World Cup table at the moment with a first at the previous round in Mazatlan. Alison Dunlap, this is the start line for the women. The first 8 riders there, Seidel, Dunlap, Grigson, Redden, Labouche, Blatter, Mathis and Chantel Decour. 87 women's riders. 3 major Brits riding, Caroline Alexander, Tracy Bronger and Louise Robinson. All of those riders trying to do well here, but as I stated before in the programme, this climb right out from the start, very, very hard, a 1 kilometre climb, and already it looks like Alison Dunlap, I think that's Marga Fullana, the Spanish world champion, together with Corinne Dorland, the B1 rider. That's amazing, actually. Never before has Corinne shown such early promise in a race. We have actually never even seen her in the top 5 of a World Cup race, but already leading out these 2 riders. Alison Dunlap on her tail with Margarita Fullana in 3rd position at the moment. The women doing 3 3/4 laps. This is the end of the 3/4 lap with Paola Pezzo in 4th spot at the moment. Slightly different kit to the other Gary Fisher riders, as I've said before here on Eurosport. But the leading 3 riders going through in roughly 25 minutes, 20 seconds, with the back markers coming through next. That's Jimenez Floret Juarez going through there, the Polo RLX rider. Sandra Temporelli in the top 8, and Caroline Alexander, excellent riding from her. She injured her shoulder very early on in the season, didn't race in Napa, pulled out at Mazatlan, but riding in the top 8 at the moment. But Alison Dunlap obviously going strong. She wants to get a good result here. 2 previous second spots. And we're going for a short break. Join me after that.
The Mountain Bike World Cup.
With the Volvo V70 Cross Country All-Wheel Drive.
Welcome back to Eurosport with me, Mark Bicycle, here at Houffalize, and you're watching Alison Dunlap, the GT rider, storming out in front. She's got a lead of about 25 seconds over these 2 riders. Meirhaeghe Fullana, the world champion, the rider who won here in the finals of the World Cup last year. She's leading out Corrine Dorland, and Meirhaeghe Fullana, and a superb climber. Electing to, well, she was riding up there, but then she got off just as I was about to say. Being followed by Meirhaeghe and Paola Pezzo. The 2 teammates were in different kits, but Pezzo, a winner here back in 1995 when conditions were absolutely atrocious. Not so bad now, though. It's cool and grey skies, but it was raining when Pezzo won in 95. That was the year Alison Sider was second, but we're looking at another Alison now, Alison Dunlap. She really does start the season so well. Previously a professional road racer, switched to mountain bikes for 1997 and has never ever looked back. She's such a strong rider. But being chased now by Meirhaeghe Fullana, or Meirhaeghe Fullana, she's known most of the time now, and Corrine Dorland. Corrine Dorland, this is a major surprise from her. Her previous best position was actually in the first round of the World Cup this year. She got an 8th place at Napa, of course. Almost flat as we see Meirhaeghe come off round that corner. Looked like she just caught her front wheel there. The number 3 rider in the World Cup is now caught by teammate Paola Pezzo, who is 9th in the World Cup. Pezzo electing not to ride in the second round at Mazatlan in Mexico. As we come to the line now after 2 laps, and it's Alison Dunlap there going across, and already she's been caught on this major descent, this technical descent here, the Fosdult. She's been caught, I think, by Meirhaeghe Fullana and Corrine Dorland. Good riding from the World Champion. She stormed to victory here last year at the end of 1999 in the finals of the World Cup. Fullana winning by 1:17 ahead of Gunrita Dahler, who I'm afraid to say has really disappeared. She had a 10th place at the first round of the World Cup at Napa, but Mazatlan didn't finish there, and she is nowhere to be seen in this race. As we look at the leader now, Meirhaeghe Fullana, she is with Corrine Dorland and Alison Dunlap. I'm hearing that she has punctured on this 3rd lap. Unfortunate for her. That really is unlucky for Alison Dunlap. She was riding so strongly. 2 second spots previous to this round, as we look at Meirhaeghe, the winner from the first round of the World Cup in Napa Valley. That was her first ever World Cup win, but Paola Pezzo, she's won quite a few races. She's won 13 World Cup races, not as many as Alison Sider, or indeed not as many as the great Julie Furtado. 28 World Cup wins. I'm sure Meirhaeghe Fullana, the rider there going through your picture in front of Corrine Dorland, would love to emulate that. Fullana only rode 4 World Cup races last year, and she won 3 of them. She hadn't won a race before that. She only actually came into mountain biking in 1997 as they crossed the line with 1 lap to go, 1:32. They look pretty relaxed, don't they? After 3 laps, Grigson is in 3rd spot, Pezzo in 4th, Dunlap 5th, Vink is in 6th. And this major climb here, it really is very, very hard. Not only is it fairly steep, but it's long as well. As we look at Alison Sider, clearly having problems today. She is even out of the top 10. This is a major surprise for this rider. Alison Sider, she won here at Houffalize back in, guess for it, wait for it, 1992. As we look at Corrine Dorland being dropped by Meirhaeghe Fullana. That was excellent riding by Fullana. She's a brilliant climber, not noted so much for her technical prowess, should I say, but obviously improved somewhat now, and she's dropped the Dutch woman, the B1 rider. This really is going to be a very good ride for her coming into the finish area now, but it looks like Meirhaeghe Fullana is going to take another World Cup win. This will be her 4th ever World Cup win. She got 3 last year. This will be her 4th. Excellent riding from the world champion. So good to win a World Cup race in a World Cup in a World Champions jersey. She comes across the line in 2:05.16. Excellent riding. She punctured in the first round in Napa as we look at Corinne Dolan coming across the line in a best ever second. Margot Fullana, as I said, punctured in Napa, didn't start the Mazatlan, comes back with a bang here. As we look at Alison Dunlap, I think that was going through. We missed Meirhaeghe Grigson in third spot. Wow, that was short and fast. But Margot Fullana first, Corinne Dolan second, Grigson third.
So I really raced incredible today. I didn't expect to do so well. I already felt great the whole week, and I like the course a lot, but still I didn't expect to become second.
So the standings after 3 rounds of the World Cup, Meirhaeghe Grigson and Alison Dunlap equal first, but Grigson by dint of her third place here, leading the World Cup in the women's standings.
The Mountain Bike World Cup.
With the Volvo V70 cross-country all-wheel drive.
Welcome back to Eurosport with me, Mark Bicycle. You're looking at the front line of the men's race. Martino Fruet, the leader, the surprise leader of the men's World Cup here at Houffalize. We're looking at Miguel Martinez in your picture there. Conditions now a bit better than they were for the women's race earlier this morning. 160 men's riders. Wow, what a field. 131 tried to qualify yesterday in the qualification race. That was won by Dario Cioni. Philippe Meirhaeghe, the Subaru Specialized rider, was in third spot. Only 74 qualified from that race yesterday. But this man didn't have to qualify. Christophe Dupuy, number 13 in the World Cup, going for the gong here at Houffalize, leading out there with his former teammate Miguel Martinez on his wheel, with it looks like Marco Bouet, Miguel Martinez's current teammate, in third spot at the moment. I'll get it out soon, won't I? Barry Clark there going through in a good position in the top 15 as Christophe Dupuy comes down forced out in first place. He won here at the end of last year in the finals, and that looks like Barry Clark coming off there with Marcel Hellen and Rune Heidel just managing to avoid that. Oh my word! Look at Heidel's wheel there. What a puncture! And I think he's actually quite angry about that. Rune Heidel trying to avoid Barry Clark there, and Marcel Heller. Unfortunate for Heidel, currently lying in fourth spot in the World Cup. But these three riders, Martinez, Dupuy and Marco Bouet, already got a gap on the rest of the field. This 160 strong men's field doing 5 laps of this course. Just about 48 kilometers, 9.6 kilometers a lap. Roughly about 400 meters of climbing per lap. But Martinez won here back in 1997 when he was teammates with Christophe Dupuy. They actually came across the line there holding hands, and Martinez's front wheel was just slightly in front of Dupuy, and he won that race there, and then of course went on to win the World Cup in 1997. Dupuy had won it the previous year in 1996, and they go across the line in 26.22 after 1 lap. There you have the standings. Marco Bouet third, Bas van Doorn, the winner of Napa, in fourth, Fumic in fifth, Hochstrasse in sixth. Very tough climb up here. And it looks like Bouet already having problems on the climb, not able to live with these two riders. They know each other so well. And it looks like Philippe Meirhaeghe, the man who came third in the qualifiers yesterday, is already high up in this race. That is amazing riding, coming from way back on the grid. I think they're going to have to be careful on this descent here. We don't want what happened to Barry Clark, Marcel Heller, and indeed Rune Heidel happened to Philippe Meirhaeghe, a supreme descender. No problem there at all. One of the best descenders on the cross-country circuit. But Dupuy won here, as I said, back in 1999, last year in the finals. That was a great win for him, coming back from a very disappointing season. Actually came 9th in the World Cup, so it wasn't too bad. But Philippe Meirhaeghe, what a ride from the Belgian rider. He would clearly love to win here in Belgium. He's won 2 World Cup races before, but both at St. Wendel in Germany, which happen to be in next week's round. Happens to be next week's round, should I say. But Martinez now being chased by Meirhaeghe. He's replaced Marco Bouet, and Meirhaeghe pushing a really small gear and flying up this climb. He's a very good technical rider. He should be, actually. He's a superb trialist as well. And Bas van Doorn alone in fourth spot at the moment, roughly about 15 seconds down. Thomas Frischneck going through there. Looked like Lado Fumic. Thomas Hochstrasser there, the Scot rider, is also up in that leading. I think there was about 8 riders in the lead there, with these 3 riders at the front. And Meirhaeghe tried desperately to get onto the tail of Dupuy. As he looks behind him, he knows this means trouble. You actually watch these 3 riders ride, and they're so different. Martinez and Dupuy more relaxed on the bike. Dupuy very, very relaxed. Meirhaeghe all aggression, all power. He's not known as Popeye for nothing. Fabulous picture taken by Hugh Williams in Mountain Biker International a couple of years ago when Meirhaeghe won the first ever World Cup race at St Venor that he won. Him coming across the line, arms raised, and you could see the veins popping out everywhere, and that's well, I'm sure the nickname came from. A Subaru Specialized rider now onto the tails of these 2 riders, and this will be very good indeed. And in fact, if Bas van Doorn can get up there, it will be a superb quartet of riders. Van Doorn, as I said, was the winner at Napa Valley, rode supremely strongly there, and was very unfortunate at Mazatlan where he punctured along with people like Thomas Frischneck. Frischneck was actually leading the race in Mazatlan when he punctured, but Bas van Doorn trying desperately to get onto the wheels of these 3 riders as they go across the line in 54.22. And Meirhaeghe, Dupuy and Martinez. The small, diminutive Martinez, a powerful, powerful rider. The bigger Meirhaeghe and the taller, slimmer Dupuy. After 2 laps, Meirhaeghe, Martinez, Dupuy, Van Doorn, Hermida, Fumic, Frischneck and Tom Larsen up there as well. My word, Tom Larsen, we haven't seen him for a while. What climbing by these riders. Wow, I need a break. We're taking a short one. Join me after that. Welcome back to Eurosport as these 3 riders try and tackle this hard climb out of the start. Meirhaeghe, determination written on his face. Dupuy equally as determined, looking very relaxed as well. The giant rider, used to ride for Sun, had actually got a verbal agreement with Max Commensel, the former owner of Sun, to ride his bikes this year. Commensel broken away from Sun, but in the end, Dupuy elected to sign on paper with Giant. What a strong team they've got. Tom Larsen, Bruno Hoidal, Christophe Dupuy, Dominic Arnaud. As Meirhaeghe leads out on the descent. He's such a very, very good descender. If anything, he says that he wants to improve his climbing. On the long climbs, he isn't really a patch for people like Martinez or Rasmussen. It looks like a few problems there for Miguel Martinez and Meirhaeghe as well, just electing to, I think it's probably the depth of the crowd here at this part of the course, willing their man to go on to win this race, as Bas van Doorn in 4th spot at the moment, a lonely 4th spot being chased hard by another group behind him, containing Thomas Frischneck, Tom Larsen, Lado Fumic. Good riders here at Houffalize. As we watch Dupuy descend. The World Cup being led at the moment by Martino Fruet, not in the top 20 at the moment. Very disappointing by him. Marcel Hello, we saw him crash with Barry Clark, and at the end, Rune Hoidal, as Christophe Dupuy has I'll say it again, is broken away from Meirhaeghe and Martinez. I'm sure he will be trying to get away now. He knows how strong Meirhaeghe is. Of these 2 riders, it looks like Meirhaeghe is the stronger, trying to chase Dupuy. Martinez looks like he's slightly not quite as strong as Meirhaeghe. Bas van Doorn trying to get back with them. This is a fruitless effort at the moment, unless he can get some help. As they go through the line in 1:22 with 2 laps to go. Van Doorn in 4th, Fumic still in 5th, Frischneck 6th, Tom Larsen in 7th, and Hermida, the junior world champion from 1996, in 8th spot, as we look at Martino Fruet wearing the leader's jersey in the World Cup, obviously having problems. The Richie Yahoo rider looking as though he really is struggling there, pushing the big ring up the climb there. Very, very difficult, that 1 kilometre climb. And it looks like Bas van Doren has bridged the gap to the leading three. And in fact, not only has Bas bridged the gap, but it looks like Thomas Frischneck has as well. My word, good riding. And Tom Larsen and Hermida as well. Excellent riding. Thomas Frischneck so unlucky at Mazatlan. He was leading there. This man who's been riding here for such a long time, he actually has never won at Houffalize, which is a major surprise. The guy who has won 17 World Cup races, trying desperately to stay with this group. And Martinez, as I said, looking like he's weakening here. This is a surprise, actually. He's usually very consistent in a race. He doesn't usually blow too badly, but he's on the end of that little group there as Dario Cioni, the winner of the qualifier from yesterday's race, pushing a big gear up the climb. Getting great encouragement from the crowd here in Belgium. 30,000 people here to see the racing. And it looks like Jose Antonio Hermida, the current leader of the Under-23 Championship, going to the front now. Excellent riding from Hermida. Meirhaeghe on his tail. Dupuy there as well in third spot. Martinez now dropped back. Bas van Doren, Thomas Frischneck not able to stay with this leading threesome. Excellent riding from Hermida. My word, so tough this course. Constantly up and down, up and down. Hermida riding for Bianchi Albacom. Looking very strong indeed, and it looks as though Dupuy has shot a bolt, I'm sure. It looks like he has. He doesn't look as strong as he did earlier on in this race. And Meirhaeghe looks the same, actually, typically aggressive from him. And this 9.6 kilometre course, they're coming down into the finish area now with just 1 lap to go. Well, unfortunately, I'm hearing over my headphones that Barry Clark has actually broken his wrist due to that crash on Vos Dult on the first lap, as we watch the first 3 riders going through now. After 4 laps, Dupuy in the lead. Hermida there, Philippe Meirhaeghe. This is the major climb now. This is the tough one, and it looks like Philippe Meirhaeghe is going for it. He's putting the hammer down now. He's attacking those 2 riders. I said he looks stronger, and Dupuy can't actually react to that, and neither can Hermida. Hermida actually coming back from a puncture himself, not able to go with the Belgian rider. What a brilliant break from the Subaru Specialized Pro. Excellent riding from Philippe Meirhaeghe. He wants to win this race. He so dearly wants to win here in Belgium in the Ardennes region, and he has broken the 2 riders he was previously with. Superb riding from Meirhaeghe. My word, aggressive stuff from the Belgian. Technically so good. And it looks like he's got the bull by the horns, and he is going for it. He looks as strong now as he did in the first few laps. This is incredible. My word, the number 94 rider who didn't finish at Napa in the first round, and my word, he knows he's won even now. And Christophe Dupuy, I'm sure, will let Hermida lead out at the end now as we look at Philippe Meirhaeghe, the guy who actually rode the road version of Flèche Wallonne and Gent-Wevelgem, the road classics. He finished those as well. He's so strong, and he knows he's won this race here in Belgium. This will be the 3rd ever World Cup win for the Belgian rider, and I'm sure this will be the one that he would have wanted to win out of any of the races in the year Y2K. He's such a nice guy as well. Very, very pleasant. He's not big-headed. He knows he's got some weaknesses, but he always tries so hard. He didn't finish, as I was saying, at Napa Valley because of an asthma attack. He didn't enter Mazatlan, but he knows he's won here in Belgium at Houffalize. What better race to win than the classic of the Mountain Bike World Cup? Philippe Meirhaeghe comes across the line in 2:18.54 for 5 laps, and I'm sure he is very happy about that. And being congratulated there by the national organiser for the Belgian national team, that Jose de Cauer. Philip Meirhaeghe saying that's the best result of his life. He comes first, Dupois second, Hermida a brilliant third, Frischneck fourth. Superb riding there. That caption not really good enough there. Who's that? Antonio Hermida. Ignore that N, it's actually a D. Excellent riding. So the World Cup standings, Frouet still manages to stay in first spot. He actually came 23rd today. Christophe Dupois in second. Oh, excellent riding from Philip Meirhaeghe. What a win.
I was suffering, I was hurting very much. It was like my whole body, my legs, everything was hurting. But in front of the home crowd, they were screaming so hard, it gave me wings, and they lifted me to the victory.
So a brilliant win there for Philip Meirhaeghe, his third ever World Cup win.
Incredible for me. It's my best result.
There's Antonio Hermida, his best ever World Cup result. We look at Martino Frouet, still the leader of the World Cup. We're actually going now. What a race. What a couple of races here in Belgium. Philip Meirhaeghe winning the men's. Marga Fullana winning the women's. A Subaru Specialized double here in Belgium. Excellent riding. Top British rider Paul Lazenby in 44th spot. Unfortunate in the men's, but so tough in the men's race. But Meirhaeghe in first, Dupois second, Hermida third, Frischneck fourth, Martinez fifth, Tom Larsner best for him in sixth. Van Doren was in seventh at the end. Well, I've thoroughly enjoyed this racing. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye.